In a post on X, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that he was glad to welcome the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Harini Amarasuriya. He added that their discussions had covered a broad range of areas, including education, women's empowerment, innovation, development cooperation and the welfare of fishermen. He also noted that as close neighbours, their cooperation held immense importance for the prosperity of both peoples as well as the shared region. The NDTV World Summit 2025 began today at the Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, bringing together global leaders, policymakers, innovators and cultural influencers for dynamic exchange of ideas and solutions. Among the other speakers are former UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott, British High Commissioner to India Lindy Cameron and BCCI Chief Selector Ajit Agarkar. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya delivered the keynote address at the event.
On behalf of the people of Sri Lanka, I wish to express our deepest gratitude to Prime Minister Modi and most importantly to the Indian people for the assistance and sustained support extended to us during Sri Lanka's most severe economic crisis in 2022. This support is a lasting reminder that India's help at our hour of need is remembered and deeply valued by our people. The theme of this summit, Risk, Resolve, Renewal, captures the reality of our age. We live in a time when change no longer moves in predictable cycles. Instead, it arrives in shocks. A pandemic, a climate crisis, geopolitical shifts, and rapid technological disruption have together redefined what leadership demands. Uncertainty today is not episodic, it's structural, touching not only economics and security, but also trust, values, and the very meaning of progress. Yet uncertainty also brings opportunity. It compels us to rethink, to innovate, to reimagine, to adopt, and to imagine new possibilities. Leadership in such times is about equipping societies to respond with resilience, fairness, foresight, empathy, and effective communication. Risk is often portrayed as peril, sometimes mistaken for recklessness. However, risk is also the first step towards renewal and progress. Without taking risk, growth and change remain impossible. At the same time, as leaders, we must remember that risk may be experienced differently by different groups of people. It is accepted that Sri Lanka's continued reform momentum, coupled with social protection, is what will make Sri Lanka's recovery last. Renewal also means partnership. The agreements signed during Prime Minister Modi's visit to Sri Lanka in April this year are not transactional. They are foundational to the India-Sri Lanka partnership built on sustainability and shared security and prosperity. The title of my address, Steering Change in Uncertain Times, to my mind, reflects the task of every government and generation, more so now in the face of climate change, AI, geopolitical shifts and changes, and weakening multilateralism. Countries such as mine cannot control the tides of global change, but what we can control is how we respond with clarity of mind and purpose, a sense of cooperation, partnership, and values. Today, as Sri Lanka rebuilds, our partnership with India has evolved into a forward-looking, multifaceted collaboration in every conceivable area, from development cooperation, training and capacity building, connectivity including grid connectivity, energy security, digitalization, education and technology, trade and investment, defense, tourism, and cultural, and importantly, people-to-people connectivity. Steering change in uncertain times requires precisely this: the courage to collaborate, the humility to learn, and turning solidarity into shared strength. We envision building a digital Sri Lanka where every citizen has access, every transaction leaves a trace, and every public service to the extent possible is transparent.
The inaugural NDTV World Summit was held in October 2024 under the theme The India Century, featuring speeches by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and former UK Prime Minister David Cameron. This year marks Sri Lanka's first participation in the event.